is going on, YouTube? I am Germ here. So I believe the start of the LEC is like a week away. I think it's next Saturday. So at this point, I was definitely not expecting any more roster moves. No more role swaps, no more roster changes, nothing crazy left to happen. I was starting to think of my tier list, starting to rank the teams, players, all that stuff in my head, and I was honestly going to start recording those videos, but I'm glad I didn't, because this morning I woke up to some big, crazy news coming out of the LEC. We have a couple of roster changes coming in from SK Gaming, which is really crazy, really last minute. And you know this is going to be spicy because Carzy commented on their tweet, he said XD, and he actually ratioed the organization. So you know it's going to be something crazy, spicy, fun. Before we get into this, I just want to mention real quick, guys, if not already, please take a second, smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Those would both be awesome. With that being said, here we go. Let's see what SK Gaming has to say, because again, this is very unexpected. This is very last minute, and it's pretty crazy.
To all the people out there following our team, today we are announcing a few roster changes coming into Summer Split. We would like to inform you that Tinks will no longer be a starting player of the LEC team.
So, their rookie jungler that they just brought in the spring split, Tinks, got one split with the team. Obviously, people don't really like when that happens. There's going to be a lot of people out there that are like, oh, you need to give rookie players more than one split. And I agree for the most part. Like, yeah, if you scouted a guy and you think he's your jungler for the future, you should probably give him some time to develop. There's people who have had one kind of rough split in the league and then turned it around for the future. But also, there has been some people where you see one split of them and you're just like, wow, okay, there's no way this guy's going to be our jungler of the future. This guy is not what we thought he was. And in that case, you should be able to replace him. There's no reason in just staying with the guy. You know, you have to admit that it was a mistake and move on, whatever. So it just depends what SK thinks of him. If they think there's absolutely no chance he'll ever develop into what they thought he would, they can move on, fine, whatever. But what's going to happen now? Who are they going to replace him with? Are they going to go get some new exciting ERL jungler? You know, it's not like they're getting self-made or anything, so hopefully it's somebody good. Hopefully it's somebody young, exciting, with even more talent and potential than they thought Tinks would have had. Otherwise, this move probably won't make sense, right?
Instead, Treatz will be role swapping to jungle, and our head coach, Jesiz, will be moving to support.
So what the heck is this? This makes no sense, and I had no idea. This was absolutely insane to me. This was a total shock. This is not a rumor that we had even heard from any accounts. No one was talking about this behind the scenes. Treatz is role swapping to jungle. Their MVP candidate support. Potentially the best support in the league. In my mind, he is right up there with Kaiser. He is right up there with Mickey, especially when you think about how Kaiser and Mickey play on much better teams, and Treatz was still popping off. And then what? Jesiz is going to play support. The head coach of SK last split is now coming to support. So Tinks got kicked for his head coach, pretty much. What? Like, that absolutely makes no sense. Now, Treatz, I think, could actually make a good jungler. He's obviously very talented. He has a big champion pool. He's very communicative. He has great, comms and everything. He is a very vocal player. So that could make sense, but is Jesiz going to be better than Tinks was? I mean, maybe, but this just makes no sense for development for the future. Like, this is absolutely insane. So let's at least see what they have to say about it, because, yeah, this is a crazy move. What is going on? LEC organizations have made a lot of weird decisions this offseason, but, man, this is up there in terms of unexpected decisions and just weird decisions, too.
SK will be supporting Christian in finding a new home if that is his choice, and we are committed to making this transition as easy as possible for him. To be honest, this is not a position that we expected to be in. Making changes so close to the start of the split is far from ideal, but we felt that these changes were necessary to maintain the progression of our team. The decision actually came collectively from the team, and every single member was on board. And if they were not on board, especially Eric, we would not have followed through with this decision either. Treatz is an extremely intelligent player with some previous experience as a jungler and one of the biggest influences in connecting our team today. Initially, we looked at more traditional jungle replacements, but due to the timing and contractual nature of everything, we couldn't come to an agreement.
So that obviously does make a lot of sense. Again, the LEC is so close to the start. So many teams have locked in rosters. So many players, wouldn't want to come into a situation last minute. Even if it's for a shot in the LEC, they still want to give themselves the best chance to succeed, because you see here that if you have a bad split, you might be kicked and you might never come back. Also, who knows how much money SK was willing to shell out for like a top ERL jungler or whatever, because we've seen some of these guys go for multiple hundreds of thousands of dollars, and I don't really know if SK was interested in doing something like that on such short notice if it's not the guy that they really want.
We discussed the possibility of picking up a regional league level player, but ultimately we actually decided against it because, you know, we have great team culture here and we have a great attitude to improvement, and, you know, all of the existing members are very aware of that, including Jesiz as our former head coach.
All right, I can't watch any more of that. This guy was like, he was like, you know, we thought about going with an ERL player, but our team culture's too good, so we just decided our head coach would be a better option than an ERL player. Like, man, come on, that I don't get this. I think Treatz could be a good jungler. In that way, I think it could work out, and maybe Jesiz will do better than Tinks would have. It'll definitely be a downgrade at the support position. Maybe Treatz will be able to be better than Tinks was in the jungle to make up for it, but, you know, a lot of the games SK won in Spring Split was off of the back of big plays and big games from Treatz in that support position. And I think, honestly, the team got a lot worse today. I think they would have been much better off going out and getting an ERL jungler or you know, finding even a shorter-term solution, because this is super, super weird. Something really, really interesting here from Treatz is that he says, first of all, this is not a role swap that I intend to commit to long-term. So this makes no, you know, Treatz is just going to play one split as jungle. Then he's going to go back to support. Jesiz, I assume, is going to go back to head coach. And then they're just going to go find a jungler next offseason. You know, that's fine. That's great. But they're really kind of just throwing away this summer split, in my opinion. You know, he said, we felt as a team that if we kept playing the same roster, it would be a reach to even make playoffs and most definitely worlds. Throughout the last split, we worked hard with each other to band-aid a lot of problems that stem from a synergy perspective, which led to the benching of Tinks. So maybe Tinks was causing a lot of problems behind the scene. Maybe he just didn't fit in well with the team. You know, that's totally fine. But they say here, we didn't know if we were going to be able to make playoffs. We didn't even know if we were going to be able to make worlds. So, you know, we're going to throw Treatz in jungle and throw Jesiz to support. Now they feel like they're confidently going to make playoffs. Now they feel like they have a better chance of making worlds. That's pretty weird. You know, he says how the change is not one he took lightly. He understands the risks, and you know, they're all down for it. It's going to be a spicy summer. That is definitely true. But this is absolutely crazy. And then, you know, Jesiz put out a statement too. The roster change wasn't done lightheartedly. It makes me sad we've ended up replacing Tinks. He had zero intentions of returning to pro play, and he's only doing this by the request of his players. So it seems like the management's on board. It seems like the coaching staff's on board. It seems like the players are on board. But I am very, very skeptical, and I think rightfully so. Maybe this will be a pleasant surprise. But yeah, man, I don't know. SK was like already a pretty meh team last split, but they were young and it seemed like they were developing. It seemed like they had a bright future ahead, and then just to kind of all blow it up, and then just to know that they're going to blow it up again. I think this is going to hurt the development of Treatz. I think this is going to hurt the development of the SK bot lane not getting to play together. I think this is just going to be really, really weird. And I don't think it's going to work out for the summer split. Maybe it'll work out for the future for them. But wow, this is unexpected, crazy, weird. I don't get it. But I can't wait to watch. That's for damn sure. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy it. I would appreciate it so much. Really does help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Leave a comment down below. What do you think of these SK moves? You think Treatz is going to be a good jungler? You think Jesiz is going to do well coming back to support? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. Hopefully I catch you guys on the next one. But until then, peace!